Okay, so this is going to be a new online program. It's going to be, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. Yeah, there's nothing, extravagant or fancy about it. It's just getting the absolute basics right, with regards to tracking your nutrition, implementing healthy habits, some of the, universal habits that tend to be some of the foundational pillars of improving your health, when it comes to whatever you want to achieve, whether you want to just tone up, lose some body fat, generally feel happier and healthier in your body, have more energy. That's what this kind of program is all about. So, but what we're going to initially start with is, where's this thing? There we go. So I want you, this is where you got a pen and paper. So we're going to start with you writing down what it is you're actually looking to achieve, because we need to get clear on an outcome, right? So what is it you truly want to achieve with your health and fitness? Write down a specific goal, okay? Whether that's losing weight, building muscle, improving your energy, or something else, but be as clear as you possibly can about exactly what it is we're working towards. Because you heard the phrase, like, if you chase too many rabbits, you'll catch none. If you're trying to like put loads of muscle tissue on and get really strong in the gym at the same time you're trying to lose body fat, at the same time you're trying to train for a marathon, at the same time if you're trying to do too many things at once, it's going to be very hard to create a program around that, and you're going to get overwhelmed. So try to be really specific with what exactly what you're looking to achieve, and just spend a minute just writing that down. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute to do that. Take your time with it, guys. There's no rush. This call's not going to take long. There's only a couple of key things to go over just to get some clarity on what you're looking to achieve, and then we're going to talk about how we're going to work towards it. All right, just another 30 seconds or so. Okay, cool. We're going to move on to the next slide. So now I want you to briefly just think about, only take about 30 seconds, just briefly think about how would achieving your goal make you feel. I want you to visualize how you'd feel after reaching your goal, and write down how your body, mind, and emotions would change. Okay. And get as detailed as possible, but just briefly. Doesn't need to be, too extensive. And all of this, you may think like, why are we doing this? What's the point in this? It'll all make sense as we go through it. As we go on to the next slides, it'll all make sense. So just do the best you can. If nothing's coming up for you now, you can repeat this exercise after we've jumped off this call, if you feel like it's going to take you a bit more time. Shit. Move that up. Didn't mean to do that. Where's that thing? Ah, that's what I was looking for. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that good? I was trying to do that for ages. I was trying to figure out what a button was. I did it earlier, and I've only just figured out how to do it. There we go. Bosh, technology, eh? Right. So let's move on to the next slide. So this cycle here, who can relate with this? You're unhappy with where you are. You go to change your habits. So usually you find a program, a diet plan, or maybe you go back to something you tried before or something a friend's trying. And then you get some progress. You either make some progress with it, or sometimes you make no progress with it, but you go back to familiar old habits. Yeah, so oftentimes you make no progress, you get demotivated, and you go back to familiar old ways, and you end up back in that cycle. You're unhappy with where you are, and then eventually you like go back through that cycle. How many people relate with that? Yeah, and I put like, you sometimes get the result that you want, or you start moving the needle towards what you want to achieve. You start losing weight, you start feeling better, you start feeling more energized, but then you start I can't remember the name of it, but it's called like the success fallacy or something like that. Once you start, there's a quote like from that DeMartini guy that I went to see in Belfast last week. Once a man starts feeling that he's successful, he's from that point he's on his way down. As soon as you feel like, oh, you got your feet up, I've made it now, I've achieved what I wanted to achieve, you start changing the habits. You stop doing what it took to get you there. You start relaxing a bit more. Yeah. So this is important to know, because we need to recognize patterns in order to change them. We need to recognize the order in the chaos, because some things it doesn't make sense as to why I'm not achieving something, and everything seems chaotic and just all over the place and random. But when you look at this and you look at the stuff we're going to go through in the next few slides, you're going to see there's actually some order to it, and there's some predictable patterns. And when you start noticing them, you can actually start to make some changes. Okay. So let's go on to the next one. Now I want you to write down, what are the things that have been holding you back from reaching or maintaining your goals? Okay, so in the past, when feel like you've made some progress and you've gone back to old ways, or maybe you've just never really kind of made the shifts and the changes that you should be making, what are the excuses? What are the things that you tell yourself? What are the justifications? What are the thoughts you have that lead you to the actions that lead you to the results that you don't want? Okay, so list all of them down. List all of the reasons or excuses that have stopped you from achieving the goal that you read in the first slide. Okay, or why you sabotaged yourself once you obtained, some results. Okay, don't hold back on it. Reflect on everything you've told yourself as to why you cannot reach or maintain your goal. This is very important. And this one's going to be an ongoing process. There's some stuff you may not even be aware of, but I want you to watch your mind like a cat watches a mouse hole. And you need to watch for these thoughts, because these are the ones that are literally the ones that are holding you back. These are the thoughts that you're having that are holding you back. So we need to become aware of these so we can overcome them. So write down the ones that you're currently aware of. I'll give you another 30 seconds, guys. Oh, I didn't realize I disappeared. I'm back now. Hey. How do I move myself? Look, I can even move myself across. Here we go. Look at that. That's cool, isn't it? Don't know if, oh no, it's not done it. There's me talking. I was thinking it's done it, but I haven't actually shared it. There you go. You don't, all that time you're wondering what I'm saying. It's because of that. There we go. You're supposed to see my face. Can you see my face at the corner of the screen? You can't. Oh, you can, because I can't see it on my screen. I was like, can they even see what I'm talking about? Okay, so everyone's done that, right? I've written down at least one or two things as to what's been holding you back. Cool. As I said, you can always come back to this stuff. If you feel like there's more stuff to dig into, come back to this stuff after the call. Okay. So, what are the patterns in your excuses? Okay. These excuses are just thoughts that have become habitual patterns. They feel real, but they're not facts. They're just repeated thoughts. Recognizing them as patterns is the first step to breaking them. So here's where we want to get you to. So the cycle that you was in before, unhappy with where you are, you change your habits, you find some sort of program, some plan that you're going to follow. You change your habits because of an Instagram reel or a TikTok or whatever. Oh, that seems good. I'm going to make that habit change. You make the habit shift, and then you make some progress, or maybe you don't make progress, because even with what we're going to do in this program, nothing works for 100% of people 100% of the time. Yeah, so we may outline everything that we outline for you in this program, and it may not quite move the needle in exactly how you wanted it to happen. But what we're going to do is we're not going to go back to familiar old ways. We need to change our habits again. We need to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, we need to come up with a new hypothesis, and then we apply that. And then if we make progress, great. If we don't make progress, we go back again. But even if we make progress, we go back again to look how we can optimize things. How can we continue to improve? How can we continue to evolve? Because if, as I said before, if you feel like you get to a place where you're like, I've made it now, I'm successful, I've finished, then you're going to regress. Yeah, there's either you're either expanding or you're what's the opposite of expanding? Retracting, shrinking. You know, there's either a growth or there's shrinkage. Yeah, so there's no in between. Okay, so you need to decide that you're going to try to improve as a consistent thing, as a way of being, as a part of your identity. That's who you are now. You're someone who wants to optimize yourself and constantly improve and constantly get better. Okay, so this is what we want to achieve. We want to get rid of going back to the familiar, and we want to keep going around this cycle of making progress. And if you don't make progress, you change and hypothesize and hopefully make some progress the next time. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So the excuses that you wrote down, I want you to write down why they are no longer going to be valid. Okay, write down why they are not true. Okay, so find reasons as to why those excuses are not, and most of the time it's dead easy, isn't it? You know, you write down, I haven't got any time, and you look at your screen time and you're spending 6 hours scrolling on crap. Like most of your excuses you write down that paper, you realize that, you know, they're just not true. So write down next to it, why are those excuses not going to be valid for you anymore? I hope this makes sense as to why this is so important, guys. Yeah. Because I can go through why, you know, here's what you need to do with your food. You need to eat this protein. You need to have this. You need to have your meals at this time. You need to, I could go through all that stuff with you and say, right, go and do that. But what use is that unless we do this stuff? This is the foundational stuff. Okay. This is the stuff on the, like, this is the stuff what makes things stick. Yeah. When your identity shifts, when you start thinking about your thoughts, that's what creates long-term change. So now I want you to write down a new empowering thought to replace your old excuses. So each one of the old excuses that you wrote down, every time you have that thought from now on, you are going to switch it and replace it with a new empowering thought. It's very hard to not think something. If I say, don't think of a white elephant, straight away it's like, damn it. So if you have these old excuses and you just try to fight them and like, I don't think that, don't think that, don't think that, you're thinking about the thought that you're trying not to think about. It's, you know, it doesn't work. So we need to have something to replace it with. So write down a new empowering thought to replace your old excuses. And you can, the step we did before this, as to why your excuses are no longer going to be valid, you can use the material in this that you wrote down to create your new empowering thought. Why is the old empowering thought a lie? And what evidence do you have that this new empowering thought is true? Sometimes you think like, I don't have the willpower or something like that. And you want to write down like, I have the willpower to do it. Look in other areas of your life where you do have willpower so you can find the evidence. Okay. So if you say I'm too lazy, that may be true in certain areas of your life, but not in others. Okay. So if you draw from different areas of your life where you do have the attributes that you feel that you need to be successful with this for your evidence, because if you pull to mind a thought to say, right, no, I am, you know, I'm not lazy, I'm motivated, blah, 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 and you don't believe it because you feel that you've not got the evidence to do that, but that's just in the category of, you know, diet or whatever. So pull from it in different areas where you know that you're not lazy. Okay, because your mind needs evidence to believe something. Right. Now, this bit is about how having someone to help you is going to, you know, it's going to help to especially get things rolling, because the person coaching is going to have confidence in the program and the modality to achieve the result you want, they've got to have confidence in that. Okay, if they don't have confidence in confidence in what they're doing and in the modality and in the plan that they're giving you, then that's going to show. Yeah, so you've got to have confidence in the person that's trying. So in this case, it's going to be me and Ollie, for instance. You've got to have confidence that I know and Ollie knows how to help you and what things you need to do in order to get the result you want. That's where it comes from. Okay, so you need to have confidence. If you don't have it for yourself because you don't feel that you've really done it for yourself for a long period of time, you draw that confidence from us. Yeah, you come to us for confidence. So when you come to us with being unconfident, we will pour confidence into you. That's our task. That's our goal. That's our job. It's to pour confidence into you. Okay. And then when you increase your confidence, that's what makes you apply yourself to the actual program and go through hard times. Yeah. Go through things, go through challenging times and and do things that are a little bit difficult for you because you've got confidence in what you're doing. And when you do that, you get some success. Yeah. You get some results. You improve. You lose a few inches, you feel a bit better. And when you do that, then that gives you more confidence. Yeah. So you said this ends up just like a flywheel. Yeah. So that's what we're here for, is to help to build confidence in you that what you're doing is the right thing. Okay. And then if something isn't quite working for you, we'll, go back to the drawing board with you and make suggestions on what we can try. But as I said before, if we come up with a plan for you and then it's not quite working exactly how it is, we've got to be open. You've got to be open to okay, we just need to make adaptations. It's not to scrap everything and go back to old habits. Yeah, it's very important that we just keep going back to the drawing board and we will get there. We will get there. Okay. So imagine having a clear step-by-step plan. How much easier would that make your success? Okay, with everything laid out for you, there's no more confusion or guesswork. You know exactly what to do. So that's what this program is going to be. Exactly black and white. Here's what you're going to be doing. Okay, here's how much protein you're going to be eating. We're going to go through all that in a sec, but everything's going to be mapped out exactly what you need to do. Okay, no stone is unturned. That's important. All right. So just like we did at the start, I want you to briefly visualize where you want to be in the next few months or weeks. And what does that look like for you? Picture yourself healthier, stronger, more energized. Visualize your life. Visualize the life you want and how you'll feel when you achieve it. Okay. So just literally close your eyes for like 20 seconds, and just do your best to paint that image for yourself in your mind of what you're looking to achieve. What would change in your life? How would it affect other people around you? How will it affect the way that you see yourself? How will it affect the way you feel about yourself? How will it affect your relationships? How will it affect the people you love? Really think about that, okay? Now, what I want you to ask yourself, this is a closing question. See, I told you this wouldn't take long. What are you willing to do to commit what are you willing to commit to in order to make this happen? Okay, what would you be willing to give up? What would you be willing to do in order to make that, what you just visualized, happen? Okay, this is a key question. If you're ready to take action, let go of excuses and commit to your goals. And I'll be there, and Ollie will as well, to support you every step of the way. All right. So I'll tell you what's required of you in this program. Okay. I'm going to briefly go over. You won't be able to read any of this because it's small. So you're going to receive this in a PDF. Okay. Step by step, exactly what to do. First thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take some photos. Yeah. You're going to have to take some measurements. You're going to have to do your weight. Okay. You don't have to do your photos in your pants. Okay. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to. You just wear the minimal clothing and as tight. Don't wear stuff that's going to change your body shape. Okay. This is time to get real, raw and honest exactly where you are with stuff. Okay. And how we need to know if you're making progress or not. Okay. So we need to have ways of measuring that. Before we've gone through periods over the years of like, we used to be really strict on this, getting people to do it, and then not so much. And every time that we've like said, okay, right now for this program, you have to make sure you do the pictures, the measurements, the photos. And every time people do it, it's just that extra element of accountability and commitment. Yeah. That just kind of like strengthens the whole thing. So getting this done is very important. Okay. And then each week you just have to send through your measurement and your weight. And then every 4 weeks, you're going to do a photo again, a progress photo. Okay. Just one from the front, back and side. Yeah, because we need to see what changes. And if you are doing everything that we've said to do and you get each week, and at the end of the fall, nothing's changing, then obviously, stop what you're doing. There's no point carrying it on. You should be seeing results, and that's what's going to build your confidence in the program. Yeah. So make sure you do that. Okay. And in this, you can see at the bottom, there's one, the step 2 is the habit tracker. There's another PDF that'll click through to, which is this one. And it's an app called Habit Share. Okay. There's some essential habits that you're going to have to put into it, just some basic stuff: drinking 2 liters of water a day, going to bed by 10 p.m. Yeah, every night, which is the key one. Which can have, the thing is, the reason why sleep is such an important thing as well is because then it gives you the capacity to be able to train harder. It optimizes your hormones, and losing body fat is all hormonal. Yeah, as many of you probably know, it's all hormonal. There's some other ones in there as well: hitting a protein goal, avoid snacking after dinner. Okay, so just read through all of that. I'm not going to go through everything now. Read through all of that. And it will go through step by step exactly what to do. Once you set up that app, the habit tracker, it will tell you how to add me as a coach. Okay, there's the QR code to add me. I'll be able to see everything. Okay, and I'm going to use an integrative bit of software, which is everything's going to go through to like a spreadsheet, and Ollie's going to get access to it as well. So we're going to be able to see whether you're sticking to your habits that you said that you're going to stick to or not. How often are you hitting, drinking water every day? How often are you hitting, do you know what I mean? So we're going to be able to see it. And then we're going to be able to be like, oi, So things change when they're observed, don't they? Probably notice that from your kids. Like, obviously, you ever watch your children, if you've got children, if you ever watch your children when they don't know they're being watched, yeah, they act different, right? They act completely different. And then as soon as they see you, they're like, oh, they act different. That's the case with all of us. So, and as soon as think that you're being observed, you change, So because we're observing everything, this is going to change your behavior. So this is going to be like a bridge that is going to give you enough time for all of this stuff, all these habits to become familiar. So this is your new baseline. Okay, so you won't need it forever for someone to watch over you with this sort of stuff, but it helps. It helps massively. Okay, in order to make it a familiar thing. So this will be your default setting. So that's why we're putting these habits in place to make these your default setting. Okay. The next thing, we're going to use an app called Chronometer. Okay. Now I have a coaching membership with this app. So you're going to get the premium version for free. Yeah. So you get all the attributes of it for free. You don't have to sign up to their premium. That's already covered. All of the instructions on exactly what to do are in here. What's going to happen is you don't download the app straight away. As soon as you let me know you want to do this and you want to apply yourself to this program, you message me, and then I'm going to email you across the invitation. Yeah. And then same thing with this. We can see everything. We can see everything you're eating. Okay. So it may be a little bit tedious and a little bit annoying initially to track everything. But as soon as you do one meal, say if you have oats with, I don't know, chia seeds and flax seeds and pumpkin seeds and some berries in the morning, and you have that every morning or every other morning. As soon as you put that recipe in, now you can just click and drop it every time. Okay. So initially, maybe a bit of a pain, but as soon as you got most people have 3 or 4 different meals that they just cycle, right? So once you get into the routine of it and you've got your meals there, your regular meals, you are just going to be able to put them in. I had that again today. I had that again today. Do you know what I mean? So it will take you like a couple of minutes at the end of the day max. Yeah. Or 1 minute after every meal, if that, just to quickly slide it in there. Okay. So the good thing about this app as well is it tracks all of your micronutrients. It will do all of your B vitamins. It will do all of your minerals. It will do everything. Okay. So we can, and so after we get a bit of data, or after a week or two, we can be like, oh my God, you're eating no zinc. There's no zinc in your diet. Okay, we need to make sure that you add a bit of zinc and copper or something. Do you know what I mean? So rather than just saying some general advice as to what supplements you need to take, we can be very, very precise with what we kind of suggest that you take, okay, with regards to supplements. So we'll look at your data on there. Also, if you're experiencing any symptoms of any sort, we can maybe, look at making suggestions based on a more holistic picture, basically, rather than just saying, take some magnesium because everyone needs it. Which you should, by the way, you should probably be taking some magnesium because everyone does need it. Right. So yeah, next steps is literally just to message me, I'm ready, along with the best email, because that's the one that we're gonna use to do the chronometer thing. Okay. So that's basically it. And if anyone, no one on here is not a part of HK, but there's a couple of people that wanted to do it that are not a part of HK. If anyone's watching this on replay and they're not a part of HK, if they want to do this program, then they just got to message me and I'll jump on a call with them. But for everyone at the gym, it's obviously completely free. Okay. Cool. So Ollie, do you want, I'm gonna unmute Ollie now. So Ollie's gonna, if he wants to, I don't know if he's got anything to say, but where are you? Oh, you're under read. That's why. There we go. Should come up now, Ollie.
Really cool. Yeah, no, I'm not going to say too much just to avoid like confusing and overloading people. But yeah, it's all the stuff that you would normally go for. I'll just say that when it comes to tracking and weighing your food, it's like an essential thing. You probably will mess it up, so don't worry about it. Just once you start getting those habits in, it will start to get easier. But with tracking, the first 4 weeks is always a bit of a nightmare. But trust me, it really does work because the ultimate goal is to be more intuitive with your eating at the end of time, but you need to
100%.
kind of break through the wall in order to know what you're eating. So then one day you're going to walk into a shop and be like, that's 300 calories of that much protein, that's that, and that's that. But before you get there, you kind of need to pay the man in that sense and actually put the work in, make sure you're tracking your foods because it becomes so much easier once you do it. But if you, like you're saying, with the excuses and the voices and the habitual excuses, you'll always refer back to that. I can't do this. I won't do this. And you fall back into the old comfort habits because we as humans like to be comfortable and we don't like change. But we do need to change in order to get results that we've never had before. And then once you get there, it's far easier to maintain because these habits feel easier. It's not that like we've changed and gone back to your old habits. This is for life. So once you've made those changes, those changes then stay and it becomes a lot easier. Then you can enjoy life as well as not being super strict. But that all comes once you've done it. So like Jason said, we're both here to help you. We're both here to guide you through everything that you need. Always feel free to any confusions because it's a lot to take in. So it becomes very simple once you get it, but to get it, it just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of understanding. So if you have to ask us the same question 10 times, do it. Make sure it gets in your head so we can help you the best that we can. Okay?
Brilliant, Ollie. Thank you, mate. That's a very good point. Yeah, you know the old Buddhist saying like, if you use a raft to cross a river, once you get to the other side, you don't carry the raft with you. Yeah. So a lot of this stuff, it may say, oh, I don't want to track my food for the rest of my life, but it is that raft to get you to the other side of the river. Okay. And it will make you so hyper consciously aware of foods that are higher in calories and things that, and you're not getting enough magnesium or potassium, or do you know what I mean? That's the purpose of it. Yeah. So you're going to create more balance in your diet, but then you're going to be more intuitive in time as well. Okay. So yeah, eventually this is what a lot of people go through the phase of doing. They track everything for a while. And then after a while of doing that, it's kind of like, all right, I kind of like unconsciously know what I should be doing now. And then you can, you don't necessarily have to do it anymore. So what's going to
It
happen as
took me
well?
a minute though, to be fair. Like compared
Sorry?
to everyone else, it took me about 7 years to
Wow. Yeah,
let the
yeah.
reins off tracking.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. We've all got different times. Some people do it in 12 weeks. For me, it took me a long time because I wanted to be sure, and I was always changing things and learning things with different apps for
Yeah,
clients and stuff
sure.
as well. But it does take a minute, but you do get there, and you do think you'll never be able to get there, but you do get there. And honestly, the
Mm,
other side is sweet. So trust the process, and we'll all get there together.
awesome. Cool. And so what you're also going to get as well, you're going to get a WhatsApp group with just you and me and Ollie in the WhatsApp group. So you're going to have your own personal accountability group. Okay. So that's where you're going to initially send your measurements and everything. And that's where we're going to be keeping on tabs with you and making sure that, any feedback we've got for your nutrition, because we're going to be able to see everything you're doing. We're going to utilize that group for that. Okay. And then we'll also put a general group together for everyone who's doing this program. And then anyone that joins the program will get added to that group as well. Okay. So share your in the group as well, the supportive group. We might call it something like food inspiration or something. I don't know, but we'll share stuff in there. Share your little wins, share your challenges. That group is for all of you to support each other. And I'm guaranteeing if you're having a thought or a struggle, someone else in that group is having the same bloody thought or the struggle. Yeah, so sharing the art, sharing what you're going through, sharing your wins, sharing how you overcome certain things, it will have a massive impact. Will have a massive impact on it could have a huge impact on someone else. Okay. So this support each other. Yeah, we're going to create the group and utilize it. So this is you can't clap with one hand, can you? You can't like this needs to be a reciprocal thing, you know?
Sorry, everyone tried.
This needs to be a reciprocal thing. We're going to be there reaching out to you, but we don't want to feel like we're just pestering you, you know? So if you say, look, I don't want to do the program, that's fine. If you do the program for a bit and you're like, right, I'm going to give it a break for a bit, I don't want to do the program for a bit, I'll come back to you if I want to start again. That's fine. But don't just ghost. Yeah. If you're struggling with something or you've messed up and you've smashed 3 beers and an ice cream and a pizza and had some Jaeger bombs, whatever, you know what I mean? If you've gone off track, don't just go ghost on us. Communicate with us. Okay, that's what we're here for. We're here to support you through this. All right. Cool. I'm gonna unmute everyone, and if anyone's got any questions, they can. I can't unmute everyone. So, has anyone got any questions?
When you say message me, email you or just text you our email?
And either, yeah, you can just message me on WhatsApp or text or whatever. Just tell me that you're in, and then send me your best email as well, and then I'll get you all set up and ready to rumble.
Perfect.
Cool. Anyone else? All good.
3 people.
Yeah, I think they can unmute themselves. I can ask.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah. You can unmute yourself, but no, everyone's all good. Thank you for taking your time out of your evening to jump on this call, guys. I really appreciate it. And then
thank you.
Thank you very much.
No worries. And thank you, Wally, as well.
Will you be there? Will you be there, Jason, after Andrew's class on a Friday night when I go home and I've got my hand on a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc about to unscrew it?
I'll pop out
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. No, so it comes back to what we spoke about before with the thoughts. Okay, I've got a recording of this, so I'll send the recording of this to all of you. Okay, go back through it, go through all the sections, and go back to the thoughts. What is the justification for you to doing that? Because that's the old familiar way. I guarantee if you wake up Saturday morning and you don't do it, you're not going to look back and think, "Oh, I wish I would have had a bottle of wine."
I don't have a bloody bottle.
But you know what I mean? Yeah. You're not going to look back and be like, I wish I would have had a glass of wine last night. Yeah. So it's just getting past that point. What is it? What's the new thing you are going to tell yourself? And it's not necessarily something that's going to be straight. You may, on the first hurdle, trip. That's okay. That's okay. We're not here to judge you and say, you naughty girl, you shouldn't have done that. Communicate. I've gone through years and years of struggling with weed, struggling with going out, getting drunk and sleeping around and doing loads of things that I know are bad for me, bad for people, bad for the people I love. And I've been stuck in a rut with things for years and years and years of really negative thinking and really negative ways of acting. So I understand completely. The worst thing you can do is put judgment on yourself that you're bad, because then that just sends you back into the spiral. Yeah. Ask yourself, do you want to have the glass of wine? Do you really want to have the glass of wine? Or are you more enticed? Are you more in love with the vision that you've created of yourself that doesn't do that, that has control over that at least? If you feel that it's completely like you have no control over it, it's just an unconscious thing that you're doing, then do you want that? Is that okay? Are you happy with that? If you're not, then it's like, okay, well, I'm taking charge back. I'm only having a glass of wine when I consciously decide. And right at the minute, I've consciously decided that I'm not going to have any alcohol and I'm going to work on my health and fitness for the next 6 weeks, 10 months, whatever. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, failing that, track it, and then you'll see how little food you can eat for the rest of the day.
Exactly. Track it.
Track it in the morning.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I know you don't drink a bottle, but for example, if you had a bottle, track that bottle in the morning, then you know, oh, I've got 200 calories to work with. So either you'll sacrifice it and you'll do it for that one night, but you haven't eaten anything, so you feel absolutely terrible, or you go, I probably shouldn't have all that alcohol because I need to get my nutrition in for the day. I need to hit my protein targets. I need to hit my micronutrients and stuff. So that once you can see something, it generally makes it easier to say no, especially if it's that impacting on your like total day's expenditure.
Yeah, for sure. And it's giving you contrast as well. You need to know what is life like without the wine, and then implement it back in, and then make a conscious decision. Is it worth do I have any repercussions? If I do, is it worth it? You can make an adult conscious decision that way. Where if you feel that you just, it gets to the end of the week and you're just drawn to that habit over and over again, it's just like an habitual thing. Try maybe committing to cutting it out for 4 weeks. And then after that, if you feel like putting it back in, put it back in. Cool. But it's not with the nutrition, it's not going to be, it's all in the PDF, but in the nutrition, it's not going to be like completely cut out all junk food, never have any junk food whatsoever. It's, you've got a protein goal to hit. You've got to have a portion of vegetables each day as your habits. And then the rest of and then it's just calorie based.
Mm.
That's what the nutrition is. I'm not saying you have to make sure you have a grass-fed, organic broccoli, chicken breast every day. Do you know what I mean? It's not, that's not what the nutrition plan is. It's just a protein goal. Make sure you eat some veg and hit your calories. The thing is with your calories is it's easier to eat less calories when you're eating nutrient dense foods. So you do want to make sure most of your foods come from good quality sources. If you're just getting all your calories from ice cream, you're probably going to be starving because you're not getting nourished. So it makes sense for your body to release hormones to tell you to eat because you haven't got the things you need. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So if there's something specifically that you're struggling with regards to the program after you've gone through all the PDFs and stuff, reach out to us and we can have a chat one-on-one about it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
No
you.
worries, guys.
That was brilliant.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right.
Thanks,
Bye.
Phil.
Thank you, lot.
Bye.
Bye,
You guys
everyone.
soon.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.